Hi, Bluebirds on the Wire. It's Anna, Bluebird. I am back, and for many who have not seen what has been happening here in my world, um, I am going to start it with everything that's been happening since December 9th. I planned a trip with my older sister, Olale, and my older brother, Hoon, and my mother, who lives in New Mexico. And the whole purpose for this trip was my brother was actually getting off of parole. So he was officially off of parole the 3 days prior to the accident. And my older sister, had already been living in New Hampshire. And the whole point of this was to actually move my mother and my older brother to New Hampshire. We found a home and we're purchasing the home. And the whole plan was to get them somewhere safe, finally, you know. Like I've said before, that I grew up very, very povertized, and well, it's kind of what comes along with poverty is no safety. Promise. It wasn't happening for them, and it didn't happen for me as a child. But so we went to New Mexico. My sister and I flew, and my older brother drove from California. He packed everything in his car and threw a bunch of rugs on the top of his roof and his trunk, and he headed to New Mexico, to where we were all meeting at my mother's house. And so we all did make it to my mother's house, and my older sister and I were just there for the day. Very, very nice day, actually. It was so calm. We crammed into my mother's home and made it work, because that's what we do. Um, and there was no complaining. It was really beautiful, actually. And my older brother gets there. I don't really know what time he got there officially, but it was late at night. And my sister and I were trying to sleep in the tent. And then we went to sleep in the car. So, long story short, we all decided, I guess, that we were going to a hotel. And we crashed on our way to the hotel, about a mile and a half away from the hotel, actually. Um, and my brother Hoon and my older sister Olale lost their lives, and I was in critical condition in the ICU in New Mexico. I was driven to Taos Hospital, and they helicoptered me out to Albuquerque. Um, I might pause a little bit on this, but right now you're seeing all of the hospital, the ICU. I was in a coma for 5 days, in and out. It was induced coma. And then I had my eye sockets were broken. My left cheekbone was broken. I had a full mandible, or full mandible, that's what they call it. But I had a floating jaw. So I have metal all in my mouth, and no feeling in my chin, but I'm gonna be all right. I can handle this. And I mean, my teeth got straighter. I'll take it. And then I as well broke my C1 and C2 vertebrae here. And that's a very dangerous break. Very, very dangerous. I do believe that any neck break is dangerous, honestly, but they say it's the worst. And I am walking and I am okay. I was able to come out of this pretty good. honestly. Um, and I was in the ICU for 10 days and in the hospital downstairs for 6. So I was out, in and out, sort of 16 days. I was very determined to get out of there and be home with my family before Christmas. So we got home the 23rd, and my husband diligently did his work as well and got a plane, private plane for us to go home. Um, and as well, while I was in the hospital, my older brother and sister, um, and some of our family were doing the funeral. Um, I was unaware of it at the time, or I guess my husband probably told me, but I don't really remember this. We are having services as well up here in June for my sister's birthday, for them. So then I will be able to attend that. They were both cremated. My older brother's father and one of his brothers were able to make it. And my older sister's boyfriend, Ernest, who was able to make it and as well lost his life 2 months after she passed from he had a heart issue. That's what I'm told. He was young. He was really young in his 40s. So my heart to anyone who loses anyone, honestly. It's hard, and I understand something about this whole experience, and I had to think about it twice actually because I didn't quite know that I had not actually experienced grief. I mean, for myself, I do know that I have levels of emotions towards grief. I mean, I've experienced grief. In my knowledge, it was grief, and it is. I lost my best friend 4 years ago. I've lost a lot of close people, but I don't know if I ever really grieved. Um, and this loss for myself, my brother and sister, and even though we only really got to know each other as adults in the last 2 years, but we had this connection from our childhood that no one ever knew, honestly. No one ever knew. And it was beautiful. The last 2 years have been more than just beautiful. They both helped me heal so much. And I, as well, know that I helped them heal. And I couldn't have asked for more. I honestly, every single moment was so worth it. And I really appreciate this. But back to the grief part is I was speaking to them daily, mm, multiple times a day, text, FaceTime, we were kicking it, really. We went everywhere with each other on the phone if it had to be. Um, anyways, I came home from the hospital and I was kind of on a pink cloud per se. And about a month and a half in, I started to twirl into this hole. And like I've said, it had a lot to do with me picking up alcohol. I'm an alcoholic, so that should not be in aspects of me picking up. And I had a major coma. And, anyways, all these excuses, but no, no. Um, but that's what I did. And then so that opened up a door and it was going to eventually open. I know this. Maybe it could have taken a little bit longer and maybe that would have been a little bit easier, but I don't know. Who knows, honestly. Um, but what happened was it opened up this door of, I mean, grief, insecurities, um, mania, uh, depression. I mean, any of those doors, well, it totally opened it all up. And so I had to, mm, I guess I had to sit in it. But what I understand is that actually I didn't have to sit in it. And that this is a learning curve for me. And I believe it would be for anybody, honestly, is okay, I did the rabbit hole. And for a second, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can even, I didn't even think about getting out of it because I didn't even know I was in it. It was all like logical stuff to me. No, if I'm thinking about it, if I'm constantly thinking that that's a rabbit hole and that's that. And so I was very lucky enough to see it somehow or another. And as well, had some side help, meaning I have help with when I need it with energy that's going on inside of me. And I have somebody who can actually help me release that energy and find that road again because sometimes I can't do it on my own. For the majority, I'm doing it on my own, but that energy that's just stuck in there, sometimes I definitely need help. So I got out of it, and this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is what I've worked my whole life for, actually, is to do that. Um, and it doesn't happen overnight at all, but it does happen. And so with this experience, I learned something one more time, that I can do this. I don't have to be stuck. Yes, I'm going to grieve. I'm going to grieve. And that's absolutely okay. I don't have to sit in it. Mm-mm. I'm gonna feel it, and I need to feel it. This is what it's all about for me. But I can feel it and allow it to be passing, not stuck somewhere inside of my body and shoved away, and or just blatantly nonstop thinking and doubting and wondering and all this stuff that I no, I don't have to do that. And this is the beauty of all of it, is that okay, this happened. It did. It happened. And I love my brother and sister, and I will always, always, always cherish every single moment we had together. And I as well will cherish every single moment that I have on this earth because I'm absolutely here for a reason. And I believe that we all are here for a reason. And in my story and stories, life has actually been tried to be pulled away from me a few times, and I'm still here. So personally, I'm going to take that as, well, Bluebird, let's just do this and see what that other door looks like right behind it. What does that other door look like? The door of safetyness and love and family and compassion and helping others and helping myself. Just keep going with this and allowing things to be. And just that, to be an appreciation for it all. Because I personally don't want to stay in a negative place ever. I feel the light, and sometimes I might not, but that's okay. I'm going to have those kind of days. I think that we all do, but I don't have to sit in it. I do not have to sit in it. I can allow it and be happy with that. So, Bluebirds on the Wire is back, and I hope that today is a beautiful day for everybody. And I'm hoping this video turned out decently. You know, I do believe it did. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll be back. Thank you.